Welcome to the Icebox Sports Center in Brownstown, Michigan. I'm Larry Nader with Mark McKenzie, bringing you another exciting night of Continental Elite Hockey League action here at the Icebox. Once again tonight, the Brownstown Bombers taking on the Detroit Lightning. Mark, Bombers picking up 3 points now in the last two games, and that's kind of good news for them, and hopefully the trend's going to continue. Yeah,
they have been playing close games all year. The overtime loss hurt because we had a 3-0 lead, but they played very well last night in Toledo. Had an excellent third period and came out with a 3-2 victory on the road.
Great game last night by newcomer Brian Senek. His second game with the team and contributed big with a couple of goals. Rene Ford with the game winner.
Yeah, the Bomber power play was very sharp last night. Senek with a couple of redirection on the second one. Nice play on the first one where he picked up a loose puck and a scrum in front and found the open corner. Nice hands. Brian's going to definitely be a good asset to the Bombers. That 6'4", 230-pound frame out there really takes up a lot of space in front of the net.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt when you get a big guy like that can score too. All right, so we got action on the way here. We're just about 30 seconds into the game. James Grunow turning with the puck for the Lightning. Jojo Bojanowski misses on an attempt to pass it off the boards and knock it into the Brownstown zone. Ryan Croft with it. Rene Ford back to Ford. Ford sends it up to Eric Troop. Troop manages to get it over the blue line, the Detroit zone. He just dumps it in behind the net. Teams still feeling each other out. It's only less than a minute into the period, and we're gonna see that today, I think. And hopefully, the lesson learned from last weekend's game was you need to play 60 minutes.
Yeah, we saw that last night. The Bombers had one slight lapse that cost them a goal, but mostly they played probably 48 minutes last night. Big help of excellent hockey, and they definitely closed it off with an outstanding third period.
Troop to Marasco. Marasco with the shot. Easily gloved off. Chase Cousins back in net for the Lightning again tonight. Chase starting in his fourth game for the Lightning. A little bit of a rocky start last week for Chase, but he managed to pretty much hold on. He still looked a little shaky at points, but he held on and managed to pick up the 2 points.
Yeah, despite the 3-goal first period, he hung in there, gave his team an opportunity to come back. He kept them off the board the rest of the way, made a couple big saves in the overtime, and that was enough for him to get away with the overtime win.
That's a hard thing for a young goalie a lot of times is, when you get that early jump on you and you let in a few, is to get your concentration back and come back and play the rest of the game. And he did a great job with that, I thought.
Absolutely.
Lightning trying to put a little pressure around the Bombers' net right now. And play goes into the side of the net and a stoppage in play. Minute 53 into the first, no score. We were talking last night about some of the bigger plays in the game and our bigger players, and Aaron Jakubowski, what a game last night for him, 3 assists.
Yeah, he moved the puck real well. He had the skates flying last night. That's the key to a lot of the Bombers game, is to be able to skate and to take care of that open ice, get to the open ice. And Aaron had an excellent game.
Talk about a tough kid, though, too. I mean, the game against, I think it was game against Detroit that he took a puck into the head, and last night he took an edge of a stick into the side of his head in the temple, and he's right back up. He's right back into the game, and he's here today.
Yeah, when you stick your nose into everything, every once in a while you're going to get whacked. But Aaron is a hard-nosed player, and that's going to happen. But like I say, he gets up, he comes back, and it takes an awful lot to get him out.
Face-off will remain in the Brownstown zone. Lightning digging in the corner, trying to pull the puck out after managing to win the face-off. Across center ice and just dumps it in, and Jakubowski trying to cut to the other side of the ice and gets dumped. And we got a delayed penalty coming up. It's going to be 2 minutes to Frank Federo back tonight after sitting out one game.
Yeah,
Frank's was definitely missed last night in the lineup as he always did playmaking abilities, but nevertheless the team did well without him, but it's good to have Frank back. We'll see what the Bombers managed to do now. 2 shorthanded goals last week against Detroit, and we'll see if they can continue that role today.
Their best offense in the first period last week was going shorthanded, but it's not necessarily the way you want to play the game.
Steve Sabo in to take the face-off for Detroit against Chris Marasco. Kyle Volker just dumps it back behind his own net. Sabo gives chase. Sabo manages to pass it off to Joe Kozlikevich. Sends it back to Volker, and now it's passed up to Steve Piccoli. And Sabo just a step over the blue line as Piccoli was carrying the puck. So face-off will come just outside the Bombers' blue line now. Minute 30 remaining in the penalty. 16:46 remaining in the first. Bombers get the face-off. Nate Jakubowski just dumps it down the ice. Kill off a little bit more of that penalty. Volker with it behind his own net. Passes it off to Sabo. Sabo fans is trying for a long pass cross ice to Kozlikevich. Piccoli with it now as he comes across the blue line. Back to Kozlikevich. Nice deflection out front. Definitely had to be fast. West had to be quick.
Austin West looking sharp on that the first real challenge.
West with 24 saves last night, picking up the win. Right back in action tonight. Nate Jakubowski carrying it himself over the blue line. Passes it over, just a little bit too far for Chris Marasco. Jeffkins with it behind his net. Jeffkins a little move. Drops it back. And a shot by Chris Kovlicek. Just wide of the net. Bombers unable to play it off the boards and out of their zone. Lightning with another shot on net. Play is going to continue a little bit choppy, I think, for right now. And Detroit got a few opportunities there, but the Bombers did a good job. Pretty much nothing really in close, and they managed to keep the shots pretty much on the outside. And I think West saw it most of the way.
Yeah, good penalty kill. Just don't give them any of those premier chances or any prime shots at the net.
Oh!
Good up and down action. These teams know they got to face each other again tomorrow night. Middle game of a long weekend.
Nate Jakubowski trying to break up that play, but Grunau with a good job to get to it. Grunau sends it out front. It was a streaking Chris Hollins coming in that almost managed to score. He got off a good opportunity, though. Austin West up to the task.
Austin West sharp again.
Icing call, and the face-off will come back down in the Brownstown zone. We were talking a little bit before the game about some of the news out of Detroit this week, and 3 of the players from last year's team getting picked up by the Flint Generals of the UHL this week, and that was good news for the league and Detroit.
Absolutely. That's the main mission of the CEHL, is to provide an opportunity for players to move up.
So right off the face-off, Jason McCrimmon squares off with Brian Senek, and we were talking about Senek's size, and this is where it comes into play. He gets wrestled to the ice, but a couple of big guys making a decision to go right for the face-off, and it was definitely a mutual decision. Both sets of gloves went down instantly, and
absolutely,
they squared off and pushed each other into the corner, and McCrimmon basically wrestles them down, and they're going to both go sit.
Brian's not necessarily known as a fighter. It's not a major portion of his game, but despite his size, he is a skilled player with great hands, but he has no qualms about dropping the gloves if he needs to stand up for his team.
Well, if you're Detroit and you kind of followed the scoreboard last night, you know that's the guy that you want to try to get off the ice as much as you can tonight. If they want to try to be successful tonight against the Bombers, keeping Senek in the box is definitely one step.
Yeah.
Ryan Croft plays it off the referee and doesn't manage to get it out. Nate Jakubowski follows up and does dump it down the ice for the Bombers. Rennie Ford giving hard chase, forcing Chase Cousins to play the puck. Long pass up to Chet Pudek. Pudek just drops it back for Joe Maltese. And Maltese fired a shot. Saved off the glass, and West covers up.
2003-2004 season.
Yeah, if you're a goaltender, you always need to be aware when Chet's down by the goal and the puck's bouncing somewhere.
Dance music, DJ, the official DJ.
Couple new players in the lineup today for Brownstown. And a familiar name for most people, even though it's not the same person, obviously, Trevor Linden.
And he just happens to be from Vancouver, a very famous name in that town. Trevor's getting a tryout here with the Bombers. He's practiced with us the last couple weeks and has earned a shot in the lineup. And Coach Boylo and put him in tonight and see what he can do.
And we got another player that came over from the other side of the big pond. It was Lucas Vespi.
Yeah, this is one that's got us a little bit excited. Lukas Vepi from Slovakia. It came to us from the River City Lancers of the CEHL. Those people who follow that league realize they have a two imported players limit for non-North Americans, which made Lukas available, and we snatched him up in a hurry. Got him in here, and he's in the lineup tonight. Looking for some big things from Lukas.
Foker with a good job to keep it in at the point. Koya Schneider manages to take it away, though. Bombers trying to get some momentum going back the other way since that power play. It's pretty much been Detroit tilting the ice to the Bombers' side. There's Trevor Linden out on the ice right now, number 91 for the Bombers. There.
Yeah, he's got all the skills. It's just a matter of seeing whether or not he can fit in, how he does. We're always looking for new players.
Derek Watkins intercepts, takes it in to the Lightning zone, and Aaron Jakubowski trying it from the hard side. Play along the near boards. Jakubowski unable to pull the puck away. We got a hold coming up to Detroit, and the Bombers are going to go on the power play with 12:32 remaining in the first. So Chris Kovlicek going to go sit a pair for holding. And it'd be the Bombers' first power play of the game. And we'll see what they can do tonight. As we said last night, two pair of power play goals, right. 2 out of the 3. So a little bit of success, but Detroit's a little bit different of a team than Toledo, and the Bombers will have to try their best to just that quick. The Lightning managed to take that puck away.
Yeah, Grunau lost the puck, lost control of it, and Nate was able to take it away and get it back out of the zone.
The puck whistle down, being touched by a high stick. The face-off will come back down into the Bomber zone. Federo gets the face-off for the Bombers. Cuts him behind his own net and takes the pass. Federo, Jakubowski, and Marasco out there and with Rennie Ford, and that's always a hot line on the power play. Definitely a threat to score anytime they touch ice.
The game winner last night was scored by Rennie Ford from Aaron on the power play.
Oh, Nate Jakubowski unable to keep it in, and puck bounces back down the ice. Ford takes it right back into Nate. Nice pass by Ford. Sending up to Federo. Federo circles, looks for a little room. Oh, Federo saw Marasco and he threaded it to him. Marasco just couldn't get the stick on it though.
Puck bouncing a little bit on him right now.
Jakubowski touches up behind the net, leaves it for Federo. 22 seconds remaining now in the power play. Federo has a little trouble, the puck sticking a little bit out there. Long lead pass up to Aaron Jakubowski. Jakubowski cuts, looking for somebody to pass it off to. Back behind the net. Jakubowski back there, and Federo digs it out. It was Kyle DiMaggio dug it out. Good job by the Bombers to start putting pressure around the net, and Cousins had to be sharp on that.
Kyle DiMaggio is coming back from 2 major injuries. One required surgery on his shoulder, and he's just now starting to round back in form, and each game you can see Kyle playing better and better.
Great pass by Kyle Volker for the Lightning over to Joe Kozakevich. And West made a nice save. The puck went up high, and West actually lost it. So lucky that the puck came down a little bit in front of him. West stops it behind the net. DiMaggio with it now. Offsides on the Lightning. 9:34 remaining in the first. No scores. Lightning versus the Brownstown Bombers this Sunday night. Saturday night. It's been a long weekend for me already. I was in Toledo last night. And as you were?
As I were.
Long ride back down to Brownstown today. Federo cutting in circles, trying to get some skating room up to Aaron Jakubowski. Jakubowski with that Ron Duguay look with the long flowing blonde hair.
Yeah, that's a recent addition.
Dye job that went bad on him. For those of you that are too young to remember, Ron Duguay was an ex-Detroit Red Wing and New York Ranger that was probably best known for how he looked out there. Absolutely. With his hair flowing going up and down the ice.
Yeah, Aaron's been getting a lot of ribbon lately about his Ric Flair look there, the nature boy.
So we'll just refer to him as the nature boy from here on. Federo back out there with Jakubowski. Bombers on the power play and letting Grunau carry the puck again, though. Grunau just very good hands this year. He's really picked his game up and knows how to skate out there. Jakubowski settle that puck down, sends it up to Frank Federo, and you got 3 Bombers coming across the blue line. They Ford with it. Ford trying to send it up front. And Aaron Jakubowski scores. Power play goals. Obviously, Ford going into the corner with it. Tried to pass it once or twice prior to actually getting it past, and that may have thrown.
In front and 1-0 Bombers.
So see if there's who gets the 3rd assist on that, but definitely Aaron Jakubowski gets the goal. Power play at 11:32. Jakubowski from Rennie Ford and Chris Marasco. Lead for the 3rd game in a row. They take the first lead of the game.
Let's see if we can hold on to this one.
Last night was not really a seesaw battle, but Bombers scored, Toledo scored, next period the same way, and Bombers managed to score the only goal in the 3rd.
Yeah, they really played an excellent 3rd period. Very close checking.
Pappas in the net and the penalty box now for the Bombers for tripping. Minute 51 remaining in that penalty. 8:06 remaining in the first. And the Bombers off to that early lead again, 1-0. Chris Marasco taking the face-off for the Bombers. And Marasco doing a good job of forechecking there as well. Almost got the puck away. And Sabo again. Sabo had a few last game that he shot over the net.
Over the top.
Pretty much good opportunities. The same thing tonight. Trying to go high on West and just put it over the top.
Yeah, the goaltenders don't mind that. They'll let you shoot all day as long as you keep it up there.
So Adam Jakubowski out. Plays it off the glass all the way down the ice, and the Bombers complete a line change. Minute 14 remaining in the penalty. Nate Jakubowski plays it off the glass, all the ways down the ice. And a few more seconds will tick off the penalty. Federo forechecking for the Bombers. Good pressure, he forces Volker to turn back. Volker now skating up the ice. Volker sends it up to Jeffkins. Jeffkins skating it in behind the net. Jeffkins again with it at the boards. Jeffkins to Sabo. Jeffkins tries a fire shot. The first one doesn't get through, the second one does. West down low, sees it all the way. Little trouble behind the net. Don't be confused by that flashing goal light if you're seeing it. We're just having a red light special today. Goal judges half off.
Yeah, a little electrical problem back there. It looks like you got some, maybe a loose wire, but no goals.
35 seconds remaining in the penalty now to the Bombers. James Grunow with it in the circle, looking for somebody, and decides to fire it himself. A good shot by Grunow. That, nice wrist shot. He had that stick fully extended. His hands were up extremely high. He didn't really get a whole lot on it. It didn't look like from where he was holding the stick, but nice shot. He had accuracy on it, went right into the far upper corner, and the Lightning tied up on the power play.
Yeah, Austin West didn't look like he saw that one cleanly. There were a couple Bombers in front. So Grunow took advantage.
Grunow scores from Jojo Bojanowski at 13-17 to tie the game. A little repeat action right now. Jeffkins with it again, coming across the center ice over the blue line. Bombers managed to block that shot up.
17 seconds of the first period.
Senek out there just fires it in. Senek along the boards, using his size a little bit to work his way through a couple of the smaller Detroit players. Right to the side of the net.
Nice pass in front by Linden.
Koya Schneider with it. Headmans it up to Pappas. He just dumps it over the blue line, and he heads to the bench to finish. Dumped it in off the boards in the corner. Chris Hollins with it behind the net. Chris gets dumped by the large Brown Bombers German. Eric Troop carries it over. Troop just sends it a little bit wide going for Marasco, and Marasco just tied up, couldn't get to it. Troop with it again now. The edge of the circle. Troop sends it out to Langlois. Langlois sends a long shot wide. They're doing a good job. Almost a good opportunity.
Chance.
Ford had to settle it and still managed to get the shot off. And Cousins right there.
Don't forget the Bombers' next home game will be next Saturday, November.
Well, another low-scoring, tightly played game. This is where we say welcome to the CEHL. Everything in the league this year has been that way. The Bombers with a one-goal win last night in the third period. The Traverse City Enforcers and Michigan Stars going to a shootout. It's definitely not something unusual in the league this year to have a one-goal game.
Now, I talked to Coach Joe Smaza from Michigan Stars today, and he was definitely happy to get the shootout win, but he wasn't happy with the fact that they were up 5-3 and let Traverse City tie it up and send it into overtime. The West with another big save, and Volker fires it from the sideboards, hits the side of the net. Jakubowski plays it off the boards, and it skips past Steve Benke and down the ice. Josh Kaleka for the Lightning just dumped it over the blue line. The Bombers tied up behind the net, and we got a face-off. They'll be to the left of Austin West. And while we got this break in the action, we want to remind you to be sure to catch all the CEHL action live here at the Icebox Sports Center in Brownstown. Upcoming home games for the Bombers. Sunday, November 15th, 7 p.m. versus the Michigan Stars. Sunday, November 16th, 3 p.m. against the Metro Moose. Friday, November 28th, 7 p.m. against the Metro Moose. And Sunday, November 30th, 3 p.m. against the Metro Moose. So we're going to see a lot of Moose coming in here for the time being.
The Mooses are looses coming into Brownstown.
Want to remind the kids, too, that every Sunday is autograph day. Bombers that are not dressed for the game will be available throughout the game for autographs. And after the game, the whole team's available. Ticket prices to all the Bombers home games are $7 for adults, $5 for students and seniors. You pick up your tickets at the Icebox Sports Center or by calling 734-776-5500. Season packages still available. For a full schedule of upcoming games for the Bombers, go.
Oh, Aaron Jakubowski off the post.
Go to www.brownstownbombers.com. So Bombers continuing to put pressure on, a little bit of frustration happening out there.
Lukasz Vepi, the Slovakian import, showing right away that he understands the North American game. Nice play by Frank Federo. Got Aaron Jakubowski loose in front. Unfortunately, Aaron hit that iron goalie around the outside, kept the puck out.
So we're going to get a penalty coming up to Chris Kavlicek for the Lightning and to Lukas Vespi for the Bombers. So his first penalty in the CEHL. He'll sit a pair.
This is where you go to the box for 2 minutes, you feel shame, and they let you go.
One of my favorite hockey movies. A lot funnier than Youngblood, but I got to pick Youngblood for my number one. I'm just trying to get some pressure there. Trevor Linden all around in that. Linden doesn't seem to be afraid to stand there in front of the net and take a little bit of punishment. It's been impressive so far in his first 3 shifts. Jojo Bojanowski with the puck. Bojanowski turns, plays off the sideboards. Winston Pappas turns it back the other way for the Bombers. Pappas sends it down the ice. On net, Cousins plays it.
It's nice to see the new players like Brian Senek and Trevor Linden and Lukasz step in and be able to help the team right away. The one thing about junior hockey is if you're doing your job right, your best players are moving on and you're losing. You always need to have some depth to fill in. And that's what we're here for, to help these guys move up and develop some new people to come in behind them and replace them.
Scouting so important at this level of the game. Mike Morley plays it off the board. Chris taking out for the Bombers blue line. Chris turning, looking for somebody to send it off to. James Grunow back in the action again. Grunow sends it up to Kazakevich, who fans. It doesn't look like he snapped his stick, but it almost sounded like it. Didn't get all of it. West holds it off, and it's a little scrum at the side of the net. Not anything big.
Talking about the rosters, Larry, you've really got to watch what's going on. There's a lot of rules about rosters, what age brackets you can have, and what birth years in juniors. You got to have X number of 1985 players, and you're only allowed so many 1983 players and that kind of thing. And playing that roster game is very important. The one thing Coach Boilo was able to do was not taking 21-year-olds who weren't going to be impact players, that left him an opening. So when a player like Brian Senek became available because the team had too many, we were able to put Brian right into the lineup.
So another pair of offsetting. Teams will remain 5-on-5. Lightning continuing to put pressure around Austin West.
2 minutes for roughing. The try penalty number 41.
So we got a little meeting of the United Nations over there in the Bombers penalty box. We got a German and a Slovakian over there. The European nations. Derek Watkins
getting a little assistance on his face cleansing there.
Your mask looks a little dirty. Let me help you out.
Derek had an excellent game down in Toledo last night. His job is to be the pest out there. Use that good speed that he has, despite not being one of the bigger players. Had a tremendous hit in the blue line last night, along with a couple more along the boards. But throws his body around and does a job out there. When he's got the skates moving and he's hitting people, he's really helping the Bombers.
The Bombers going to go a man short right now as Adam Wazzola takes a 2-minute minor for slashing. The Lightning back on the power play, minute 24 remaining in the first. Kyle Volker with it back at on his own side of neutral ice. Piccoli just dumps it over, and Sabo giving chase behind net. Piccoli pulls it out for the Lightning. Piccoli turns, sends it back to Sabo. Sabo sends it back up to the blue line to Volker at the point. Volker sends it back into Sabo. Marasco intercepts and dumps it down the ice.
I think we saw this last week.
Marasco knew he had Ford with him, but I think he thought Ford was a little bit further up the ice than what he was.
Yeah.
Good job, though, to kill 10 seconds or so off the clock. Big play out there, and Nate Jakubowski goes down, colliding with John Onifray. Looks like his wrist. It may have been how he landed.
Yeah, holding his left wrist.
Yeah. It's like maybe when he came down, his wrist buckled underneath him. Hopefully nothing major. Nate's a big role on this Bombers team.
Absolutely. Our captain directs the power play. Big leadership vacuum when he's not there.
Just a clean hit out at the blue line. Just one of those things. Sometimes you just go down the wrong way. The Bombers clear it all the way back down. Minute 7 remaining in the Detroit power play. Up center, Jojo Bojanowski, who tips it directly on the net. Bombers unable to clear it as Adam Jakubowski fanned. Kazakevich again in the middle of the play.
Yeah, after 2 weeks, we got that guy down.
At least they took the other guy out of the lineup tonight.
Yeah, we had a little trouble with Kazakevich last week, but we got his name now.
So that's going to do it for the first. Brownstown Bombers and the Lightning exchange a pair of power play goals, and they're going to skate into the intermission. It's all tied, 1-1. We'll be back for the start of the second. Okay, welcome back for the start of the second period. We still got 37 seconds remaining in the penalty to Adam Wazzola to start this period to the Brownstown Bombers. So Detroit will have a short power play, score tied 1-1 after swapping a couple of power play goals. So it's been an up and down game so far, Mark, but it's been exactly the style that's pretty much been this season.
Yeah, very evenly played hockey. All the teams are very equal this year, and you see it in the standings. You see it night after night after night in the CEHL. Last Saturday, perfect example. 3 games, all of them ending in overtime ties, all decided by shootout. You don't get much closer than that.
Austin West, like we've been saying, just has been extremely good in net so far this year, and the team's been getting better with their scoring and their consistency on the power play and the special teams. So things are starting to come together, and 3 points in the last 2 games are an indication of that.
Absolutely. It's going to take a little while for a lot of new players to fit into the system, but they're starting to come together and understanding what they can do. And in this league, it's 60 minutes of hockey or you're not going to win. And we had a little problem with that early. Had some problems with not being able to score breakaways, but that seems to be coming around. And the 60 minutes of intensity is coming along as well. It's going to be a great season.
Rennie Ford for the Bombers giving Kazakevich a little bit of fits back there, but the Lightning managed to get it over the blue line only to have it knocked back out to the neutral zone.
Bombers at full strength.
Bombers back to full strength, and Kozakevich sends a long one to Steve Sabo, who just stuck on him. The ice still just a little bit wet.
And turnaround's fair play. Exactly. It just happens to Adam Mazzola at the other end. You get a couple of those deep ruts out there, and they collect a little bit of water. They don't quite feed, and they get a steep puck.
Trevor Linden back out for the Bombers. Linden picks it up neutral zone. Dumps it over to Langlois. He couldn't get it back over to Linden. Mazzola with it now, and puck still sticking just a little bit. Lightning dump it down the ice. Chase. On afraid. Following him, and he bumps him into the book. West.
Nice save by Austin. A little giveaway along the boards, and
you can't play those things casual like that, and that's what happened. He just took it a little too casual, and once again, as we've been saying, the ice is still just a little bit wet. The puck maybe stuck on him a little bit, and next thing you know, it's a scoring chance. Jeffkins out to take the face-off for the Lightning against Brian Senek. Both players, looks like maybe leaving the face-off circle.
We got a little break here. We were talking earlier about players moving up. The Bombers had defenseman Greg Snatowski in camp, and he got an opportunity to go to the East Coast Hockey League, minor hockey league, and at the Wheeling Nailers, and Greg's made the team there, so we've moved him on. Frank Federo, our leading scorer, has a scholarship next season for Wayne State University. So things starting to happen, and players are going. It's a great thing that the CEHL came into existence here and has enabled these players to get that opportunity to move on and improve their game.
Well, I know it's always hard when a league starts up to be taken seriously, and that's kind of what happened the first year. A good handful of players, though, moving up the first year, and then the second year a little bit more. Now we're into the third season, and things are happening early in the season. I think there's 9 players that have moved on to play pro, including Steve McIntyre, who's signed with the New York Rangers earlier this last off season. So, and then once again from last year's squads, Pat Stewart from the Gems is up with the Dayton Bombers. Nat Shannon, well, that's 2 years ago with the Bay County Blizzard. He's up with Port Huron. Leo Thomas, John DePace, and Dan Pachesney, all from the Lightning, get signed with the Generals this week. And Dave Lawrence and Art Monastikanov have gone to, I believe, the East Coast League to try out or it might have been the Central League. It might have been the El Paso Buzzards. I don't remember now exactly, but I know that they've moved on to another minor pro league to get tryouts this week. So as you move a few of these players on and they become successful at the higher levels, it's going to become more and more common for the pro teams and the college teams to come down and look at these kids.
Yeah.
That's definitely the focus, is to try to move these kids on to college. Not every kid wants to play college, but the ones that want college, this is a good league for them to get that attention.
Yeah, a lot of those, the Tier 1 players, from the development team and the other guys of the USHL, they'll get their players, the 16 and 17-year-olds, they're identified, but some of these guys don't develop quite so early. And this league provides them an opportunity to play at a high-level competition for that 1 or 2 more years that can get you a look. Adam Drescher, perfect example.
Definitely.
His career pretty much wasn't going anywhere. He got into the CEHL in 2 years. He's at Wayne State now with a scholarship there. So CEHL definitely has its place in junior hockey.
Slightly under 20 players moved on to college so far from the CEHL, and that definitely speaks volumes. And, of course, Wayne State, I think, has been probably one of the most active schools looking at this league. Yeah. But that's because, 2-3 of the teams have been right in their own backyard. So, obviously that's going to happen. But once again, like we said, as they start getting more attention,
Yeah, it's tough when you're putting. Yeah, it's kind of tough for a coach to put together a team. As you know, Coach Boylo goes into the season with Kevin Bonikowski as his #1 goaltender, and an all-star from last season. And next thing you know, Kevin's at Wayne State with an opportunity to play there, and we're looking for a goaltender. So it's tough on a coach, but it's great for the kids, and gives everybody an opportunity to move on.
Good job by Ryan Croft there to take that scoring opportunity away for Joe Maltese, and then the Lightning did manage to get a shot from the side that they tried to bank off of Austin West as he was trying to get back into the net, and that didn't happen. The face-off now coming to the left of Austin West, or to the right. Lightning put a little bit of pressure on. Nice shot from the point by Steve Benke, and the Lightning managed to score on the rebound. So the Lightning, with 3:51 gone in the second, take a 2-1 lead. This time an even strength tally. And just that quick, it was a nice shot by Benke. West made the save, and I didn't quite catch who knocked it in. We'll have the scoring here in a second. Just
hey, you got to clear the rebound.
As you were saying, you got to watch him around the net.
You let him get down there low by himself with the puck, and Chet knows what to do with it. The West made the first save. No one there to clear the rebound. Putek makes them pay.
So Benke with the shot from the blue line, saved by West, and Chet Putek knocks it home. Kyle DiMaggio gets a shot from a hard angle. Cousins with no problem making that save. Watkins out front. Watkins almost manages to thread it through. And job by the Bombers is to put pressure back the other way.
Yeah, good chance down there. Kyle DiMaggio and Derek Watkins. Cousins real sharp on that play.
Cousins coming into the game with a 4.33 goals against average and an 8.869 save percentage. And I got to believe it's just been a little bit of maybe of a shaky start for him, maybe some poor defense in front of him in a couple of games, but he is definitely playing extremely well today.
Yeah, starting with after the first period last week and through this game, he's played very well for the Lightning.
Lightning get it back up. Sabo was tied up by Aaron Jakubowski. Bombers dump it off the glass. Aaron Jakubowski, he's got Federo with him. Federo and Mosley.
Veppy.
I'm sorry, yeah, Veppy, that's right. I've been conditioned with the number 9 being Mosley. And
yeah, unfortunately, we're not the Red Wings here. We don't have unlimited jersey numbers, so when you move players in and out, the numbers can change throughout the season.
Sabo with a quick shot there that goes high and over the net again. Adam Jakubowski threads it up to Federo. Sabo again. Sabo with Onifray, can't thread it through. Good job, I believe that was Chris Ryan going down, making the sliding save, or sliding block. So 14:23 remaining in the second. The Lightning on an even strength goal from Chet Putek take a 2-1 lead. Jeffkins in against Senek. Senek wins the face. Giving chase.
Good job by Winston to negate the icing.
Trevor Linden. Linden sends it out front. Senek can't get to it. And Jojo Bojanowski takes it back. Bojanowski, and Bojanowski scores! Just that quick, and they came right back down the ice. Good tic-tac-toe from Bojanowski to Gruno, back to Bojanowski.
Yeah, the Bomber defense got caught a little too close together. They got the 2-on-1 coming down, and Grunow and Bojanowski like as you say, a little tic-tac-toe and in the net.
Bojanowski having a good season so far for the Lightning. It's his 8th point now in his 10th game. 3 goals, 5 assists. The other assist on that goes to Christian Jeffkins. So the Lightning now with a 3-1 lead, and the Bombers getting pushed a little bit to the wall. Joe Maltese trying to play on the boards. He goes elbows over T. Kettle. Face-off comes all the way back down on the icing. So there's 13:31 remaining. Want to remind you to go out, check out the Bombers website, www.brownstownbombers.com. Get the latest information on the team, stats, game recaps by Matt Bishop, and more. www.brownstownbombers.com. We got a hook coming up to Chris Hollins from Detroit.
An opportunity for the Bombers to get back in the game here. Kind of laid back the last 5 minutes here, and the Lightning have struck twice. Going on the power play here, we're getting an opportunity to get back into the game.
We still got an electrical problem on the light, flashing light behind the Lightning net right now. So 2 seconds come off the penalty. Definitely not a must-score opportunity here for the Bombers, but you always want to score when you have the power play. Yeah. Especially down 2 goals. You need to get one back now.
Yeah, this is the golden opportunity to get back in the game, get it back to a 1-goal game, and special teams so important in this league.
Well, and not to mention the momentum. 2 goals for Detroit in about a 3-4 minute span. You want to take away whatever momentum they may have gained. Cousins scrambling on his belly, manages to hold on to the puck.
Kyle DiMaggio just not able to get a clean whack at that puck.
So there's 1:32 remaining in the power play for the Bombers. 12:59 remaining in the game. I'm sorry, the second period. Trying to get this night over quick. Kyle DiMaggio taking the face-off for the Bombers against Jet Putek. Jeffkins takes it. Lightning get the face-off and they dump it down the ice. Chris Ryan with it behind for Kyle DiMaggio. DiMaggio skating hard up the ice, carries himself over the blue line, holds up, tries to send it to Adam Jakubowski and just put it up in the air. Jakubowski couldn't glove it and drop it back down. Jeffkins with it now. Jeffkins plays it off the boards and over the blue line, and Adam Jakubowski just dumps it back in for the Bombers. DiMaggio and Senek working it behind the net. Jakubowski managed to get his glove on it, but not enough going over the blue line. Federo back out there now with Aaron Jakubowski. You definitely see the game pick up when those 2 players hit the ice.
Yeah, somebody turns the knob on the speed control when they hit the ice.
DiMaggio with it again. Sends it back to Federo. Federo looking. Federo sends it over to Adam Jakubowski. Sneaking in on the right side. Just unable to find the handle and pull the trigger.
Oh. Federo pulled down during the shot.
Unafraid trying to come back the other way. Good job by Adam Jakubowski to tie him up. Unafraid gets it anyways, though. And puck bouncing out in front of the net.
Dangerous situation when the puck is in the air like that.
West doing a calm and keep that pad straight up on it. Jakubowski out there playing handball at center ice. Onifray with it for the Lightning. Onifray centers it to Sabo, who can't find it. Good job there for Sabo.
Chris Ryan tying him up in front, preventing the good scoring shot.
Yeah, he just couldn't get the stick down on it and get off a good, clean shot. Onifray again. Onifray's shot blocked by the skate of Brian Langlois. And the Bombers right back the other way. And Chris Marasco loses it, picks it back up again, circles. Marasco wanted to go to Ford for it, but we got a slash coming up on the goaltender. Looks like Chase Cousins. He had the finger pointed at him by referee Wilhelm. And the Lightning are going to go a man short again.
Yeah, the goaltenders don't like you taking up resident in that blue area there, and sometimes they get a little excited, a little overzealous, I should say.
Yeah, the referees usually let a lot go in every league with the goalie. I'm not just saying this league, but in every league with the goalie. You see it even at the NHL level. There's a lot of whacking and hacking going on, and I know it's annoying when you're a player out there and you're getting them chopping at your legs, but in this situation, he was a little too aggressive with it, and he got whistled. Federo now. Federo trying to cut in. He's tied up by Kazakevich. Turning, circling behind the net. Aaron Jakubowski with it now. Jakubowski plays it to himself. Jakubowski trying to send it back to Federo, couldn't get it through. And we have, I think, some maybe offsetting penalties coming up here.
Oh, man in the crease.
So faceoff is going to come outside the blue line.
Reading Ford spent a little bit too much time down there in the blue zone.
Yeah, it's one thing to visit, but it's another thing to start putting up hotels.
Yes.
So Marasco with it behind his own net. Aaron Jakubowski. One thing that we don't do at this level of the game is keep track of how much ice time every player's out there, but Jakubowski and Federo and Marasco getting just a ton of ice time tonight.
That's the number one penalty killing line or power play line. So they're going to, and they've been out there quite a bit this period and early in the first.
Marasco dumps it in behind the net. Bombers forechecking, trying to put the pressure on, but Detroit manages to just lift it up high and send it down the length of the ice. Federo takes it. Federo's coming, cuts around Detroit player and back up to center ice. Senek just manages to send it high off the glass and in. Bombers with 15 seconds remaining in their power play. Marasco doing a good job of reading that one coming off the glass and stopped it at center ice. Fires it back in. Nate Jakubowski manages to keep it in with his skate. Lightning back to full strength. Jakubowski pinching on this. Unable to keep it in though, and the Lightning come right back the other way. Chris Hollins takes it. Manages to get a shot on the short side. And Austin West, I think, thought maybe he had it trapped. And
yeah, he lost sight of the puck.
Puck goes over the glass and out, and we'll have a stoppage in play.
Including gold sponsor, the News Herald newspaper, where you can read the Bomber Corner every Wednesday in the sports section. Comcast Cable, Nancy's Pizza, sponsor of the Bombers Scranton game competition. Quick Plumbing and Heating, Comcast Cable, Dorian Properties, the Icebox Sports Center, John Rogan, GMC Truck, Berkeley Ford Incorporated, and
making the best out of having the last line change out there with the home ice advantage. Coyer Schneider picks it up, circles in behind his own net. Waits for his team to come back and regroup. Sabo takes it right back. Sabo with a shot. He doesn't send it high that time.
No, a giveaway again along the boards. Bomber defense.
Chris proved costly twice tonight. Sabo has had a little bit of a problem scoring on also in the last 2 games. Didn't have a problem that time. Took it, nice slap shot. Beat him on the stick side. And the Lightning now take a 3-goal lead, 4-1 at 12:40.
Again, a bomber giveaway along the defense. Didn't clear the puck. Had the opportunity. Didn't get it out. It ends up behind the goal.
Unassisted goal by Steve Sabo at 12:40 of the second. Stoppage in play. Face-off will remain in the Lightning zone. So, a couple breakdowns, and we said, proved costly. 3 quick goals, or 3 goals by Detroit. And the Lightning back on, or Bombers back on their heels right now. Still a lot of time left, but that goal, that letting Detroit go up or score that 3rd goal in the row was an all-important play. That's a lot of momentum to get.
3-goal lead, much more secure than a 2-goal lead. 2-goal lead being the worst lead in hockey.
4 straight unanswered goals by Detroit.
Don't forget to pick up your number box at the front desk for only $1 apiece.
Once again, upcoming games here at the Icebox.
Between the second and third period.
November 15th, Saturday, 7 p.m. against the Michigan Stars. And then Sunday, November 16th, 3 p.m. Friday, November 28th, 7 p.m. And Sunday, November 30th, 3 p.m. for all versus the Metro Moose. You pick up your tickets at the Icebox Sports Center or by calling 734-676-5500. Season packages still available. So the Bombers are going to have to start gambling at this point. They're going to have to start pinching in a little bit more than what they really want to and than what their game plan calls for.
Right. We've got to get more offensive here and get some chances, and they got to bury them when they get them.
Face-off down the circle to the left of Austin West. Christian Jeffkins with a nice hard shot that West just held to his chest. Chris Holland's in, take the face-off for the Lightning. The Bombers manage to dump it back out to center ice. Kravlicek for the Lightning sends it in, and Bombers send the pass up to Lazola. They don't do anything with it, and the Lightning right back the other way. Hollins again circling with the puck behind the Bombers net. That's definitely a name we've mentioned quite a bit tonight. Chris Hollins, much more involved in the game today. Doing a good job out there for the Lightning.
The last little exchange down there in the corner between Derek Watson and Jason McCrimmon. A little bit difference in size there. Watkins doing a good job with a much larger player.
Josh Brown keeps it in for the Lightning. Sends it back in. Players tie it up behind the Bombers net. Referee waiting for him to move the puck. And Maltese comes out with it. Maltese with a good job sending it right to the side of the net, and West gloving it off. Detroit Lightning looking to try to regain sole possession in second place after the Stars picked up the shootout win last night. Brian Nicholas walking by in front of us. Toledo ice digger from last season. Allen Park resident. Big bruising defenseman. He's looking for a game. He's got his bag and his stick with him.
Got the right colors on that bag.
Volker with it at the point, just dumps it in. Bombers now trying to spring somebody with it, and they send it long. Vespi.
Lukasz Vepi.
Vepi with the great speed getting down there. Oh, and a good chance by Aaron Jakubowski, and he just was unable to convert it though.
Critical that the Bombers get the next goal and get one soon.
Vespi again with it to Jakubowski to Vespi.
And Lukasz!
Lukasz with his first CEHL goal in his first CEHL game in his second period of action. And the Detroit lead to 2 goals.
Lukasz Vepi on the give and go with Aaron going to the net like you're supposed to with the puck, with the stick on the ice.
Back and
puck
forth.
Ends up behind Cousins.
Back and forth between the two. Just kind of reminiscent of the Detroit goal the other way.
Right.
So Lukasz Vepi with his first CEHL goal from Aaron Jakubowski and Frank Federo at 16-19 of the second. Well, once again, as we were saying, all important that the Bombers pick up their game and stop Detroit from scoring their goal, which they did. Now it's a case of what are you going to do with the momentum? You manage to score, can you swing the rest of the momentum back your way?
Right. Period.
A lot of time remaining here to bring it back within 1 before the end of the period.
Don't forget the Bombers have a game next Saturday, November 1st, when they take out the Michigan Stars at 7 p.m. here at Jaguar Sports Center. In addition to
Some other recent transactions in the CEHL. Eugene Gaelic of the Ukraine picked up by Traverse City. Toledo signing Chris Hoy, Fort Wayne, Indiana native, and Jeff Mosher from Hilton, New York. Also reporting to Toledo was John Lucier. Lucier was in 3rd season now with the Toledo teams. He's from St. Annabelle, Montreal.
More good pressure from the Bombers.
Other transactions recently were the past week. Michigan Stars picked up. So I know the Stars looking to gain a little bit of size. They weren't too happy with how they were pushed around by Toledo recently, and they decided they wanted to get a little bit of size. And I think they must have gotten that with Bradley Leach. So that's about it for the recent transactions in the past week. As you said, Mark, this roster's always changing at this level.
Yes. Players moving up, players moving on, players moving out.
Trevor Linden pulls that puck out and dumps it down the ice. Giving chase to Jeffkins. Jeffkins circling his own net with it. Sends it out to center ice. Bojanowski unable to play it, but Jeffkins picks it back up. Now, Drew now turns at the point with it. Side of his net looking for somebody to send it to. A little bit long. Detroit just dumps it back in, and Jeffkins sends it over to Bojanowski. And he will pull the trigger. Bojanowski with it along the boards, and he just nailed Pappas with his.
Doing a good job in the corner.
Yeah, he just nailed Pappas in the jaw though, and that one he got away with, but it looks like Jeffkins is going to get called for the high stick up by the Lightning bench.
Yeah, another opportunity for the Bombers to get back in.
So I guess Bojanowski didn't get away with that. I thought he got away with it. I thought what they were calling was the hit over here by Jeffkins, and I never saw the delayed penalty with the arm go up. Obviously, Wilhelm has thought about it and made up his mind he was going to call that hit. And it did look like Bojanowski got his stick up a little bit high as the way Pappas' head snapped.
Yeah.
So the Lightning now with the minute 39 remaining in the period. They're on the power play. The Bombers.
17 seconds on the second period.
Chris Marasco. Frank Federo. Bombers carried over the blue line. Federo doing a good job. Unable to control it as he's dumped by two of the Lightning. Adam Jakubowski with it. Adam winds up. Maybe taking us a little bit too much time though, Mark. I know these guys all want to try to get that perfect slap shot off, but
sometimes you just need to make the hard shot at the goaltender.
Too much time for Cousins to set when he got the puck.
Yeah.
And he saw it the whole way. So a minute 3 remaining in the period. Minute 21 remaining in the penalty. So this will carry over. For Federo, though, is going to go for the Bombers. And that's going to be a 2-minute minor, so that's going to nullify the Bombers' power play. And when we get into the third period, the Lightning will have a 39-second power play, barring any other penalties. Faceoff will come back outside the Lightning blue line, which hurts the Bombers a little bit again.
Now this can be a dangerous time when you go 4-on-4. Taking that one player off on each team opens up a little bit of ice.
Federo for roughing. Aaron Jakubowski doing a good job with his speed. The Lightning right back the other way. Grunau sent it over to Mike Morley, who couldn't find it on his stick. Morley with it again. Morley has it taken away by Aaron Jakubowski, who manages to at least get it over the Bombers' blue line. Morley with it to Grunau. Grunau behind his back, looking for Maltese, who wasn't there along the boards, but Maltese manages to play it past Adam Jakubowski. Good job by Rennie Ford to slap down on the stick of James Grunau to not allow that shot.
So this 4-on-4 normally helps a finesse team more than a power team. Remember the old days of the Edmonton Oilers, they played it so well 4-on-4 it ended up with a rule change.
Exactly. So that's going to do it for the second period. The Lightning outscore the Bombers in the frame 3-1. Score at the end of 2, 4-2. And we'll be back for the start of the third. Okay, welcome back for the start of the third period. Detroit Lightning with a 4-2 lead over the Brownstown Bombers. Lightning scoring 3 times in the second period from Chet Putek at 3:51. Jojo Bojanowski scoring his third of the year at 6:02. And Steve Sabo finally hitting net in here in Brownstown at 12:40. The Bombers managed to get one back, scoring at 16:19 to pull the Bombers back within 2. And Brownstown definitely has their work cut out for them in this period, Mark. They're going to have to play a solid game, solid defensively, while outscoring the Lightning.
Yeah, we've got about a 40-second power play here to kill off. And then they're going to have to get one quickly to get back in the game here. And as we've seen in the CEHL, there's no lead too safe for them.
Oh! Great opportunity by John Onifray there, and West just going from one pillar to the other and stacking the pads, and making the save off his pad, and also his skate connecting with the post and the net coming dislodged. So
that's
the play's whistle dead.
That's Austin's job right now, is to do whatever he can to keep his team in the game, keep it 2 goals, and hope that the offense can turn it on and get us back in this game.
Definitely like to see the Bombers score one here early in the period to give West a little bit more energy, as well as the team itself. Tazakevich right able to hold it in at the point, hopped over his stick. Steve Piccoli trying to skate it in. Onifray coming in behind him to pick up the puck. Behind the net now. Sabo sent it out to Piccoli, and West doing a great job and just acrobatic out there making saves. 2 seconds remain in the penalty. 19:04, just 56 seconds gone in the third period. And West so far doing a good job twice in the first 56 seconds.
Yeah, making a big save that the team needs to hold them off, get through this penalty kill, and then try to get back in the game.
The Bombers back to full strength. Ryan Croft behind the net working it. Comes back over now to Nate Jakubowski. Nate Jakubowski plays it off the boards, unable to get it out though. And West makes the save, but he's down, and nobody at all on James Grunow as Grunow just picks it up, backhands it into the top part of the empty net, and exactly what the Bombers did not want to see.
Yeah. Now they let Grunow alone out in front. He had West down. He made the initial save. Austin had no chance on the second shot.
Players do not miss that type of an opportunity very often, and nothing, not on West at that point. West made the save, and the defense was just not there to clear the players out front and be able to clear the puck. So Grunow scoring from Steve Benke to put Detroit back up by 3 at 1:16 of the third. So this is going to make the Bombers' job that much harder now.
Time to go, 1 minute 16 seconds of the third period.
Adam Jakubowski plays it off the boards, can't get it out. West with a good job of gloving it off.
Deflection.
West playing a good game despite the 5 scores by Detroit. West has done a great job to try to keep his team in the game. It's just 3 of the goals have just come from defense lapses today.
Yeah.
Pappas gets the face-off for the Bombers. Trevor Linden can't clear it. Nice shot by Chris Hollins. Low on West. West makes the pad save and smothers it. A lot of time left in this game, but once again, a 3-goal lead is hard to beat.
Yeah, the Bombers don't seem to have the same flow in the game that they had last night. And we got a couple new guys in the lineup, but they're not really the ones that seem to be disrupting things. It's they just don't have the same. Things just aren't going as easily as they did last night, I guess.
Yeah, I've actually been impressed with the 2 new guys in the lineup tonight, Linden and Veppy.
Yeah,
they've both been very impressive, and it looks like they're here. Linden with a quick shot there, almost managing to get his first CEHL goal. So we've got a little break in the action here. I want to remind you about some upcoming games at the Icebox Sports Center in Brownstown. Saturday, November 15th, 7 p.m. versus the Michigan Stars. Sunday, November 16th, 3 p.m. Friday, November 28th, 7 p.m. And Sunday, November 30th, 3 p.m. all versus the Metro Moose. Pick up your tickets at the Icebox Sports Center or by calling 734-676-5500. Good family outing, inexpensive ticket, $7 adults, $5 for teenagers and seniors, children under 12. Every Sunday, autograph day. Bring the kids on down. Have them get their autographs to their favorite Bombers players. The Lightning continuing to put pressure on. Kozakevich.
There's Moresco, and we've got a
Ford and Kozakevich along the glass. Ford not dropping the gloves. Kozakevich has dropped the gloves. It's going to be interesting to see how this gets called. Both players will skate to the penalty boxes. It's like a double minor on Kozakevich and a minor on Ford. I would assume roughings both ways. So the Bombers ought to come out of this with the extra 2-minute man advantage.
And they do. But they also lost a good scoring opportunity. Chris Marasco was behind the defense.
Marasco was gone. Marasco, good speed, good hands. Definitely need to capitalize here, though, with a 3-goal deficit, 16:38 remaining. By the time this period is up, it's going to be 14:38. They need to score here.
2-minute line for roughing. Unit strike penalty number 5, Joe Kozakevich. 1-minute double line for roughing. Time to penalties, 3 minutes, 22 seconds.
Marasco unable to send that pass across Maltese, doing a good job of intercepting that, or breaking it up, I should say. Marasco circling as Detroit's doing a good job of forechecking right now. Grunwald takes it away.
Quite a difference from last week where the Bombers were on the offense on nearly every shorthanded situation. Tonight, it's the other way around.
Detroit doing an extremely good job killing penalties tonight. Ford sends it across. Pass out front, and nobody can get to it. Marasco has it along the boards. Marasco sends it in behind the net. Aaron Jakubowski back to Federo. Federo sends it out to Marasco, who's calling for it. Marasco with a quick wrist shot. Chase Cousins had to be quick there to block that puck. Nate Jakubowski chases it back down the Bomber zone. 50 seconds remain in the power play. Jakubowski fires a long one in that Cousins plays off the chest. Sends it long, and Jakubowski, a great job diving to keep that puck from going all the way down the other end of the ice. And yet the Lightning managed to come back. Chet Putek working his way through. Another miscue defensively, and just taken a little too light that time by Nate Jakubowski, who was looking to get off the ice. Didn't get everything on that puck.
As brother Adam stepped on, and you had a situation there where you had to wait till Nate was completely off the ice, so he didn't get called for too many men, and nearly resulted in a goal for the Lightning.
Veppy with a hard shot, about 1.5 feet high. Lightning back to full strength. I think the Bombers managed maybe one shot on goal during that power play, and Lightning picking up their game right now. They're not giving up. They're not just sitting back on the lead. They're going to keep putting pressure on the Bombers. Josh Brown chasing it down behind his own net, icing. The face-off will come back down to the Bombers' side of the ice. 14-14 remaining. 3-goal Lightning lead. Clock working against the Bombers.
Yeah, it's important that they get a goal and get one soon to get back in this game.
Looks like we got a penalty coming up. Kozakevich being whistled off.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. He's telling him he can't leave just because his first 2-minute penalty was up, which is the correct call, except that what he didn't do was he didn't put a second player in the penalty box to come out.
No.
So referee Wilhelm on top of it. Caught the fact that Kozakevich tried to come out early. Puts him back in the box. Sable with a little face wash. 13-10. We got 4 seconds managed to tick off the clock there. The face-off will be in the circle to the right. Langlois plays it off the glass but can't get it out. Lightning just doing a really good job of just clogging up the Bombers' end of the ice and giving them a hard time even clearing the puck. Pappas with a nice long shot from neutral zone. Cousins had to make a save on, played it off to the boards. Pappas giving chase. Langlois with it now back in his own zone. Langlois looking, sends it off the boards, wrap around. Koya Schneider with it. Schneider, a little bit of skating room, gets up to the center ice line, just dumps it over. Federo with it, a good opportunity. He just couldn't pick it up though and couldn't try to get it over to Aaron Jakubowski, just didn't manage to do it. We have an
Aaron
icing.
just unable to get his stick on that puck.
Comcast Cable, Dance Music DJ, the official DJ for all Bomber home games. Pictures in motion, the official videographer for all Bomber home games. Pictures in motion LLC. Thank you.
Federo in to take the face-off against James Grunow. Federo wins the face-off but couldn't do anything with it as he was tied up in the circle. And the Lightning right back the other way. Jojo Bojanowski looking for that long feed pass to James Grunow and couldn't get it through. Bombers send it right back. Aaron Jakubowski giving chase. Federo with it at center ice. Federo trying to find some skating room. He's tied up and dumped, and we're going to have a Detroit penalty.
He got an elbow. You see on that play there, Frank, doing a stop and start and the puck changed directions. You'll see a lot of players that like, especially the younger players, that like to do the circle. And in this game, at this speed, you've really got to learn to change directions with the stop and starts and go quick. That's where the game's where it's played. It's not so much with the end-to-end rushes, but the quick changes in direction and quick changes of possession. That's what you need to get an opportunity for your team.
Federo doing a good job with that, frustrating Kovalchuk just a little bit as he managed to draw the holding penalty. It looks like Kovalchuk looks like he's getting a misconduct on top of it. He's gone for the game. So obviously saying something to referee Wilhelm didn't like the call. Wilhelm, this late in the game, is not going to put up with it. Sends him to the early showers.
Detroit penalty number 3, Chris Colson, 2-minute penalty holding, and a 10-minute misconduct.
So Kovalchuk, 2 minutes for holding, a 10-minute misconduct.
16 seconds on the third.
And I guess I don't understand why he's off the ice then, because that's only 12 minutes and there's more than 12 remaining.
Oh!
DiMaggio.
Kyle DiMaggio just had his stick go over the puck.
Once again, I don't quite understand why Kovalchuk was sent off the ice. However he was, he'll take the early shower. He will not be back for the final 30 some odd seconds. Referee Wilhelm just skating over to make sure Kovalchuk does go to the dressing room, which he is. And we'll resume action. And Wazzola in to take the face-off against Joe Maltese. Wazzola wins the face-off, sends it back behind the net, but Chris Holland picks it up, or Steve Benke picks it up for Detroit. And it's just played down the ice. Chris Ryan takes the puck for the Bombers, sends it up to Adam Jakubowski, dumps it down. Kyle DiMaggio giving chase. He doesn't get to it, but Brian Senek does. Senek plays it behind the net. And the Lightning managed to bounce it back down the ice. Grunau giving long chase and West having to come out and play it. And that's a dangerous situation to get your goalie traveling that far out of the net.
That was a long, you got to make that play because he mishandles that puck. That, as we saw earlier in one of the exhibition games, it ends up right behind you.
The faceoff will come back down into the Bombers zone, to the circle. .35 remaining, 51 seconds remaining in the Lightning penalty. Once again, the clock definitely working against the Bombers right now. Less than 11 and a half minutes remaining in the game, and 3 goals need to be scored to send it into overtime. Time's becoming very precious.
Yep.
Next home game will be next Saturday, November 1st.
Don't seem to quite have the jump in the skates for the Bombers tonight. So Frank didn't play last night. Frank Federo seemed to be going a little bit different speed than the rest of the line out there.
Detroit manages to clear at the length of the ice. 24 seconds remain in the penalty for the Lightning. Nate Jakubowski giving the puck at center ice. Gets it back from Ford. Sends a nice shot to the side of the net, and good idea actually, because Cousins was starting to go the other way, looking for
the pass across,
and almost wound up putting it into the empty short side. Cousins doing a good job with the glove though, holds on for the faceoff. Federo gets the face-off for the Bombers. Back to Nate Jakubowski at the point. Jakubowski in the Ford. To Federo. Federo to Aaron Jakubowski. Aaron Jakubowski over to brother Nate, who misses on the trigger. Back to Aaron Jakubowski. Jakubowski going to the net. It's a nice idea. Aaron Jakubowski over in the circle realized that nobody was going to the front of the net. He sent it back to behind the net at the side to Frank Federo, and he went right to the crease. Good idea for Aaron Jakubowski. Doesn't pay off though. He'll head back to the bench for a short rest. You're going to see that line probably out every 40 seconds right now.
Yeah, that's the top goal scorers, and they need to be out there if we're going to get back in this game.
Eric Watkins unable to pull the trigger there, but he gets it back, and puck blocked by Steve Benke, I believe, off his stick and up into the netting. Face-off will remain in the Lightning zone. 10:22 remains in the game. Detroit Lightning 5, Brownstown Bombers 2. Schneider unable to get the shot off. Langlois takes his player out of the play and slaps the puck back down the ice. No icing. Exactly 10 minutes now remain in the third period. Schneider fighting along the boards, and Schneider's dumped again. Josh Kaleka just manhandling Schneider.
Yeah, he's definitely paying for his time handling the puck.
Kyle Volker doing a good job tying up his player in the corner. And here comes Chet Putek again. Langlois dumped him. We got a 3-on-1. Schneider just playing the pass, and Chet Putek threaded the needle. And Chet Putek pretty much is going to put the game out of reach at 6-2 with his second of the night at 10:25 of the third.
Chet's always had an extremely accurate shot, and he made the Bombers pay again.
So Putek scoring his 5th and 6th goals of the year. Assist to Mike Morley. And the Lightning take a 6-2 lead.
Detroit goal, his second of the game, 6th for the season, scored by number 12, Chet Putek.
Putek, no assists, 6 goals in 9 games.
25 seconds of the third period.
Federo looking to try to make something happen. And a good glove by Chase Cousins. One of the things the Bombers have to be careful about right now as they try to do something to get back into the game is don't let frustration set in and try to do it yourself.
Absolutely.
You've got to have your other players out there. You're not going to come back and score 4 goals in slightly over 9 minutes by trying to have one-man efforts out there.
No, it's going to take a team to get back into it. You've got to continue to move the puck and put the pressure on.
So Hollins for Detroit sends it the length of the ice, and we're going to have an icing as Chris Ryan touches up for the Bombers. Once again, www.brownstownbombers.com is your link to all the information on your Brownstown Bombers Junior A team. Get score stats, schedule, game recaps by Matt Bishop. All at www.brownstownbombers.com. Trevor Linden trying to play the puck behind the Detroit net. He's taken out of the play. Ryan Croft can't keep it in. Croft just sends it back over to blue line, and Winston Pappas tries to chase Josh Kaleka down. Pappas got a little piece of it, wasn't able to get enough, and the Lightning send it back the other way. Chet Putek again. Putek to Kaleka. Kaleka from a hard angle sends it wide. Mike Morley chases it down the ice. Morley puts a move, gets around Winston Pappas, takes it all the way down to the blue line and just dumps it in. Morley looking to go back to the bench, but as the play comes back his way, he decides to stay out there. Steve Benke keeps it in for the Lightning. Nate Putek for the Bombers just tries to clear it off the glass. The Bombers do manage to get it out. Brian Senek. Oh, and a big hit along the boards. Pappas face first into the boards. He's up. Appears to be okay. Probably a little rattled. He heads back to the bench.
Now Winston couldn't quite get the puck cleanly. Turned back to get the puck, not looking at the player behind him. Sort of left himself open for that hit.
Rennie Ford now. Ford cutting in. Ford with a good opportunity to try to score, and just a little bit too much to get around Steve Benke. He actually lost the puck. Managed to get a little bit on it though. Ford again. Ford looking to try to make something happen. Ford dumped, and a penalty coming up to John Onifray of Detroit. Onifray is going to go for interference. 6:55 remain in the third period. 4 goals in 6, just slightly under 7 minutes is a tall order. Wouldn't be the first time it happened.
No.
But it's a tall order, and the Bombers, if they are going to make any effort at all to try to get back into this game, need to do it now.
And absolutely have to score on this power play, and early in this power play, to have any reasonable chance at all to get back in the game.
Detroit just plays it around the boards, the length of the ice. Austin West out of the net to stop it. No time to really set. The Bombers got to come. Here they go. Marasco. Jakubowski sends it back up. Federo trying to turn with it. Keeps it in though. Ford sends it across, and it's ruled a hand pass. Referee Wilhelm calls it a hand pass from Frank Federo. And the play will come outside the blue line. 6:24 remaining. Minute 30 in the penalty.
Oh, you need to get in and set up and get some pressure. You got to have a goal soon.
the key is to try to solve this Detroit defense right now, as Detroit just seems to be pretty much blanketing the Bombers. Ford manages to get off the ice as Veppy steps on. Federo with it on the boards, trying to work it. It goes in behind the net. Kozlakevich. Veppy again working hard. Veppy impressive today in his first outing. Veppy working on the board, sends it in behind. Aaron Jakubowski plays it off to Frank Federo. Frank Federo appears to be maybe favoring his leg a little bit.
Yeah. Aaron
Jakubowski with Marasco cutting in. Jakubowski decided to take the shot himself, and Cousins holds on for the faceoff.
Nancy's Pizza, the sponsor of the Loudest Family Game Contest. Nancy's DJ, the official DJ for Bomber home games. Pictures in motion, the official videographer for all Bomber home games. Comcast cable, quick TV, and Norton.
The 38 seconds remain in the power play. Less than 5.5 now in the game. Benke sends it the length of the ice. On net, West makes the save. Adam Jakubowski behind his own net. Looking, sends it up to Kyle DiMaggio, who can't play it. Volker with it now for Detroit, back in his own zone. Volker tries to clear it. It's back in the Detroit zone though. As Jeffkins sends it now the length of the ice to Grunau, who's onside.